have a question for Nancy. Can we do just one motion to support the county's termination, or do we have to do each one separate?
You have to determine whether, well, I'm not saying you have to do them separately. You could certainly do one motion and say, do we find that all 5 were established, or, you know, you can do it that way. You don't have to go one by one by one and vote. You have to do a separate motion with regards to the penalty. You know that, right? You choose separate. Okay. So was that your question, whether you have to check or vote on each violation, or could you just, no, you can
lump them together.
You can lump them together unless there's some dispute amongst yourselves about that.
Okay. We need any more deliberations? We need any more deliberations?
From us? Yeah, I've got to say something. Okay, I don't have any, I mean, in fact, I'll even make a motion to, that recognizes that, well, I guess that's sustained what has been done. I mean, as relates to the charges against the officer.
Second.
But if it's time for discussion, however, I do believe you're a little bit severe. I think you have here a good deputy who tried to go about his business in the right way, but I think in a lot of cases he got bad advice from people that he was asking. All of his reviews, in fact, one of the reviews right in the middle of this says that he was good. So that leads me to believe that, and, you know, I haven't gone all the way back. I don't know what happens. These things I know that he shouldn't have done. However, it was his first offense, I think, that other than a letter of reprimand. So I think this is a little bit severe. I also believe that it's a little bit subjective. So.
What is your motion to uphold?
My motion is to uphold.
Okay.
But this is in the, he's seconded, this is in the discussion phase. So all I'm saying is that when we get through with that, then I'll do another motion that says that I think this is severe, punishment is severe.
Okay.
I think your discussion should be on the first motion, and then when you get the second
Okay.
motion, we can have that
All
other
right,
discussion.
I'm sorry.
But
I got
it made it very easy for us. I mean, our duty is to look to see if the termination and the charges can be withheld, upheld.
I think that it
And
should,
they have admitted to the charges. So, I mean, I don't, we spend more time on Stephen the Hut and those other things that have nothing to do with these charges.
great.
So, you know, I agree with you. I think the 5 of them fall right in there. I think you use poor judgment in several of those instances there. But let's get the first one over, and then we can talk about the second.
Okay, so
Okay.
There's a
All,
motion and a second.
we have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. No.
now it relates to the termination.
I'm sorry, can I just clarify for the record, you're moving to sustain all 5 violations?
All 5 of the
Okay.
charges.
2 ayes and 1 nay.
You say 2 ayes, I thought it was unanimous.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, did you just vote on the sustaining of the violations?
Mm-hmm.
And did you say it was,
She said no.
She said no.
oh, okay.
I said nay.
You said none of them, so that's gonna, you're gonna probably need to do them individually then. Unless, I guess that's a majority.
Well, my problem is that I think what he did was had bad judgment. And this is too severe.
Well, look, so you're voting 2-1 to uphold the violations, and now you wanna move on to the penalty. Okay, got it. I'm sorry, I want to make sure I understood what you're saying. Mr. Ivey.
I need to ask that question myself. So you do not think that he violated all of these 5 charges?
I know that he violated them because he admitted,
Right.
but all of them even together, I don't think warrant termination.
So
That's the
that's
next
gonna
thing.
be on the next motion, or the motion we voted on was just to sustain the 5 charges.
Yeah.
So you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take the vote. What did you just say?
I'm not sure.
Are we ready for the next motion?
Okay.
So we agreed that they voted 3-0 on the issue of guilt of the offenses.
Correct.
Oh, right? Okay, we go on to the second vote, okay.
Do I hear a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion that, I make a motion that the termination for these offenses is a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit severe. And I do not think they warrant termination. I think in some instances, I think really they're a little bit subjective and do not warrant termination. Given the officer's background and his past performances, I don't think they warrant termination. Plus, I think that he was given good advice from people above him. Bad advice, excuse me. I think some of the things that he asked, if what he got back was not necessarily the proper way of him proceeding. In fact, he didn't go out and do it himself. He asked for advice, got advice, and then he went, well, the advice was wrong. So what does all that say? I think that it should have been a lesser punishment.
Is there a motion that we recommend that?
It's my motion that we recommend a lesser punishment for these offenses.
Well, I think one of the
I'll
things,
second.
I'll second it because there's only 3 of us and then
Yeah.
we'll vote. But,
Now you can discuss.
now, I think it's the fact that he was found guilty by Judge Peter Marshall of an open house party, I think is very, I think it's really bad.
But it's considered a misdemeanor.
Yeah. I
And
understand.
I agree with you, but it is a misdemeanor.
I think you have to have a little better judgment. Not to say that he won't have better judgment the next time and later on.
Yeah.
But I find that very severe, and so I don't know.
I think it's severe. I don't think you get life in prison
Rises to
for
that.
that.
Okay.
You agree with the motion or not?
No. Give a batch to one.
All right, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. We're at the end of our requirements.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here.